Pag may problema sa traffic, talagang lahat daranas.
Sigo dito. Isa lang po, isa.
Manila, I think, will be, in about 25 years, will be a dead city.
New Clark City is one of the cornerstones of Build, Build, Build. Planning started during the previous administration, but not only did President Duterte continue this project just to show how important it is, even fast-tracked it. The idea for New Clark City is it's not just another development. The vision for this is really to create a new metropolis that will be the second major metropolis of the entire country. Itong New Clark City, Pinoy time to. And then yung airport, yun, Ramos time pa yun. Yung train, Ramos time pa yun. Definitely by 2022, we'll reach that level of momentum where we can already, it becomes irreversible.
The proposal was to actually mimic Putrajaya here in the Philippines, to have a satellite facility for the government as a backup facility and help decongest Metro Manila.
If you were to ask government right now, if an earthquake were to hit Metro Manila tomorrow, how would government continue? It would be very difficult for us to begin government operations on day one. This is what this entire phase one of New Clark City is all about. Because right now, our OCD is in Camp Aguinaldo. There's no satellite backup facility. So they're going to build a backup facility here. And so that's a typical office space. So it's all done na. That's a lobby. So it doesn't really look like a government building. You know? It's very elegant, but also very simple lang. Nothing fancy, nothing luxurious. Just simple, but very tastefully done.
Everything had to move fast. We basically work Saturdays, Sundays, holidays, every day, all day, 24/7.
Yung graba siguro until the bolts and the wood. Ano na tayo? Gahar tayo mga 4 inches. Perfect. Diba? Kaya pinapakita ni Nico yan kasi the only way this could have been finished is 24/7 construction. Round the clock dito, hindi pwedeng hindi. In fact, sometimes we work more at night kasi it's not hot, it's yung pagbubuhos ng konkreto mas madali sa gabi. $8,500 people employed in this one project at its peak. Now, siguro out of 8,500, ang total Chinese na nagtrabaho dito, wala pang 100 siguro. Out of 8,500. Yung roofing kasi nito, China gumawa nito eh. Kasi hindi natin kaya, tsaka wala tayong expertise. Iba yung methodology eh. Tsaka very precise yung welding.
Seven to 4, afternoon 7 to 4, OT, tapos may sip pa kami panggabi para continue yung aming trabaho dito, sir. Marami din naman naitangka, sir. Yung ulugan ng motor natapos, ibang utang. Halos kumuha na sila lahat ng motor, sir, para may service.
Yung mga pitix naman, sinasabihan ko naman yung ako na yun sir, yung mga kuya ko yun na sinasabi nila. Ako na yung bahala doon. Na pagagalawin ko dapat matapos kunting pahinga lang. Okay lang yung kunting pahinga. Mga ilang segundo lang. Tapos sige na naman, okay na naman.
We're doing massive tree planting here and we're using the trees that are endemic. That a lot of the trees that we've been planting all over the country are not endemic. In fact, very invasive species. So you look at this park, you know, you look at everything, every minute detail from the pathway to the signages to how the pathway interacts with the river to the trees that have been preserved. We did not cut a single tree here. I think we balled only 5 trees. No, meaning we built around the natural foliage. Those are the things that matter, I think, in this development. A lot of private developers, when they develop, they have a tendency to flatten an area, because by flattening an area, you maximize the space and the per square meter value of the area. Here we didn't do that because we didn't want to disrupt nature that much. So we tried to keep the public spaces as big as possible. This area is a 4.5 hectare park. 4.5 hectares. I mean, I think we will be hard-pressed to find a public space, continuous public space in Metro Manila that is 4.5 hectares, maybe except for Luneta. For example, this river crisscrosses the entire city. No? It's called the Kutkut River. And all the river banks of the entire length of the river on both sides will look exactly like this. They have to. If you're a developer and you have a property that is near the river, or the river is adjacent to your property, you cannot build on it. You can only build something like this, and it will all be connected. It's all natural terrain. These were here when we got here, and we preserved them. These are very, very old bamboos. Native o kawayang tinik ang tawag nila dyan. We were supposed to build one amphitheater, I think somewhere here. But our developer partners discovered that there was a rare species of Philippine woodpecker. So we had to relocate that structure to there. So just to preserve the habitat and the environment. It's that kind of consciousness and to detail and just attention to preserving whatever nature has given us here that I think sets this apart. It's the kind of live, work, play, and learn environment, which is really all about quality of life. This plan was already in place when we took over. It was planned as to be the first green, resilient, smart city. You know, I always say this, no? The Americans really know their stuff in terms of picking the best places to develop. You know, their president coined the term location, 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 and it really makes sense. And when the Americans pick a location, they always pick the best. Fort McKinley in Metro Manila is the highest point of Metro Manila. It's around 80 meters above sea level. They chose Baguio also, so they really know their stuff. So the mere fact that they chose this area, which is minimum elevation 60, 70 meters above sea level, minimum minimum yon. On average, ang Clark is about 100 meters above sea level. Metro Manila, some places are below sea level, like in Navotas, for example. So there is a natural geographic advantage of this area. And plus, they even chose the area because it's bordered by the Zambales Mountain Range and the Sacobia Mountain Range. And also, it's the nearest fault line to this area is about 25, 30 kilometers away in East Zambales. To master plan this already based on future demand and future population. We don't build as we go along because that's a recipe for disaster. That's a next Metro Manila waiting to happen. So even the drainage here, pwede ka magpasok ng kotse dun sa laki ng drainage dito.
Clark is a very important arterial place kasi ito yung papalabas talaga ng Luzon upwards. And the development, because it is very important that we disperse the industries.
The President has already made the pronouncement that eventually, in the next 5-10 years, he wants a significant portion of the government bureaucracy to move to New Clark City from Metro Manila. So we're approaching an area in the park. It's a play area, but a very special play area that's very Filipino. When it's done, it's going to be called the Domes Playground because it's a series of 5 domes that have been made from very special material. So all this wood came from old houses and the old railway stations and railway tracks in Pampanga and Tarlac. These are century-old wood, yakal, molave, dao. Some of them, ang hirap nang hanapin. Solid yan, boss. Public art, by the way, also answers one of your questions earlier, how to give the city soul. Yung mga bagong kontrata sa Clark, required for them to spend a percentage of their total budget on public art, but to use Filipino art. So here is another sculpture. It's by a furniture maker here in Pampanga. His name is Jude Chuatwico. He specializes naman in metal. This is a sculpture that will be a tribute to our swimmers. Then there's going to be forms of swimmers that will be cutting across the water.
One of the things that we've resolved together was actually the roof of this aquatic center. The original design and architecture of this was actually much more complicated. We had to sit down hours and hours drawing up models, trying to figure out the best way to implement such a complex problem. We've stayed overnight, we've came up with various solutions. Then right there and there, he made a decision. This is how we will do it.
As you will see now, all the walls are done with what we call the har finish. Nakaseal na rin, wala kang alikabok na makukuha dyan. And to maintain it, to clean it, water. And the patina, the color, is going to even get more beautiful as it ages. No, as it ages, gaganda pa lalo yan. Kasi you look at CCP, PICC, no paint. It's all concrete. And yet, it has stood the test of decades. And it's still beautiful till today.
Stadiums, sports facilities, a small city takes at least 3 years to construct. We were given, with President Vince, 18 months to design, construct, implement, and operate and maintain. 18 months, that's half the time of a construction program.
Government is really a very complex organization where in many cases a lot of agencies need to work together and talk to each other in order for projects to actually happen and happen fast. Because the president is really someone who's very impatient. He wants things done fast. He wants things done properly. This is the highest point, 68, 70 meters. And they chose it for 2 things because of cross-air ventilation. Para nga mahangin, ma-presko. And then, if you're a spectator, you're watching from the bleachers up here, your view, bundok. So, you watch the competition, but at the same time, ang ganda ng view mo ang ganda ng vista mo sa bundok. So, maganda yung pagkakapwesto nito. It was the perfect place for it. Kaya nga, anong presko? Tanghalin tapat tayo, pero sobrang presko.
This is actually aquatic or swimming specific. So we added this machine. This is called the Vasa. If let's say for some reason you don't want to go to the water, they can actually still train here. This is our dry land diving facility. Rather than jump off the platforms and to the water, they can actually train here first.
Oo nga, no?
Oo, hanggang iba.
Galing, ano?
Kung ano yung feeling sa labas, so tatuloy sila. This is the only certified FINA diving boards. Dito, meron silang harness. Then they can jump. They can practice their routine first before they actually hit the water.
Since they have already been certified, then they can use these facilities already as qualifiers for international events. So for example po, no, ang ating mga swimmers, hindi sila pwedeng qualify using, say, Rizal Memorial. Hindi pwede. Kasi hindi certified yun. Ngayon, dito sa atin, certified na siya. Uy, coach. There are national track and field team. Coach, kumusta? Coach, nagagamit mo na?
Ha?
Nagamit mo na yung throwing mo?
Hindi pa, tapos na ba yan?
Oo! Ba't di pa na nagagamit?
Pwede na.
Yun, pang competition na yun. Yung pula na yung gagamitin sa competition, di ba? Yes. Oo, kasi, ano yun?
Pero kailangan din
Kailangan
natin sir
ma-practice.
gamitin sa sa training yun. Dahil
Hindi, palipat na natin. Nico, palipat na natin siguro sa mga tao. Di ba?
Sige sir, kailangan namin yun.
O, kumusta yung PlayStation? Gagamit na ba? Meron na doon ah.
Ay, di ba?
May PlayStation. Andun na. Sinabihan na ako ng triathlon. Nagagamit na doon.
Ay, baka sa
Sa third floor. Gamitin nyo na doon. Gagamitin. Nandun na. May video games na doon. Hi guys.
Kaiba dito yung rubber na mas malambot siya, dun sa linggahin mas matigas kasi mas manipis na siya. Mas masarap tumakbo dito.
Yung ganitong facility, tinitake advantage na namin kasi dito na kami naka-stay sa Athlete Village. So, gaya kahit gabi kami mag-run dito, punong-puno ng ilaw to eh.
Igang K ang in-out niyo? 5-0? Ilang pasyon ng marathon ah. Ngayon, pwede nyo na rin gamitin yung bagong kalye pagka maglilinis na kami next week. Magsasara ako ng lane yon para sa mga tumatakbo. Yung triathlon natin, nakita ko nag-long run sila kahapon eh. Pero ano lang yung 15 total lang, 1.5 lang. Ganda nung kalye doon, no? San Jose?
Ganador po kami nga darating ng competition ngayong December para sa SEA Games. Kasi masaya naman kami dito, kami lahat ng mga athletes.
Kasi dati nag-overseas camp pa kami para lang makaranas ng ganitong facility sa training.
All boils down, I think, to how it benefits people. Like, like our athletes, we met them earlier. The first time that they use these facilities, our partner, MTD, President Nico and I, and this is no drama or no joke, we were really, on the verge of tears because obviously it took a lot of effort and, a lot of pains to build all of this in such a short span of time. But when you start seeing the athletes use them and you see their faces, the first time they used this, they ended their practice around, I think, 6:30 p.m., 7 p.m. na, because they did not want to stop. Because the facilities were just so beautiful and world-class. And they'd never had it like that for their entire lives, basically, in this country, in the Philippines. To be very honest, I really have nothing against media. I have nothing against anybody. It's just that, when things to me are done not in the most responsible way, let's just put it at that. I've got to point that out. The headline said Chinese contractors bag projects, and bag obviously means they got the project. So, and I just had to point out that if that reporter just even took the decency and the responsibility of reading the actual document that person was writing about, then they would know right away that nobody bagged any contract. It was just an MOU for a study.
Sad to say, the build program of this administration is a dismal failure. And we have only 2 years and a half left of this administration. I don't think any substantial progress insofar as the program is concerned will be achieved.
Is build a failure? Absolutely not. And the numbers speak for themselves. Construction is up, public spending on infrastructure is up, and this has led to faster economic growth. Are we happy with the progress? We could do better, and we admit that.
Standing tall and imposing at 50 meters high, this cauldron at the New Clark City Interlac will be lit for the 30th Southeast Asian Games. But even before it gets ignited, the structure and the team behind its construction is already coming under fire. The cauldron, made of steel and designed by national artist for architecture Bobby Manyosa, costs 50 million pesos. Its foundation alone costs 13.4 million pesos, while the PSC spent 32 million pesos for its actual construction. They also have to pay Manyosa 4.4 million pesos for his design.
Do you realize that at 1 million per classroom, this can construct 50 classrooms?
Ilan ba ang dapat nagawang classroom kung hindi natin hinost ang APEC? 10,000 classrooms. Tapos sasabihin nila, simbolo ng SEA Games, simbolo po ng ating mga atleta, fighting spirit of the Filipino, 50 million, titirahin nila.
The caldero is made of steel,
Yes.
which is why accounts for its cost, its high cost, and according to the BCDA head, it is a symbol of the country. It's because it stands at the entrance of the athletic stadium. I think what the government was really envisioning was to, do a really impressive hosting of the games.
What we are trying to assure the public is that we need these facilities desperately, and we are working with the best in the world in order to ensure that they are sustainable and we continue to benefit from them years to come.
Napakarami lang ng bill na puro debate at legislation at wala naman talagang konkretong nagawa. Kami po ni President Duterte, mas gusto namin bill at seryosong serbisyong ora mismo.
So paano ako? Ako mauna ha? Yeah, we're based here na kasi. So it's nice. Yeah.
Kids.
One daughter, 8 years old. Sa dito na sa Clark din nag-aaral. Wala talagang nasimulan eh. Yun ang problema talaga. And it all came back to haunt the government come election time. When people suddenly woke up after 6 years and said, parang anyari. Wala kang gawin, diba? Yari ka. Pagka may ginawa ka, tapos they'll still find a way. I mean, media or the next government o kung kaaway mo, they'll still find. So mas mabuti nang may nagawa kaysa wala. You see things happening, worth it na rin. Diba? Worth it yung sakripisyo and all the, like this project, no? This project is probably the project that's giving me the most headaches and blood pressure rises. Critical kasi this is the connectivity this is the road that will connect everybody to the games. So this has to be done, whatever happens.
If someone does not execute, like if there's a given deadline and it's not met, you will hear it from him.
I can't believe milestone 2 is ahead of milestone 1. Really, hindi ko maintindihan bakit nauna yung milestone 2 sa 1. Yung 2, huling-huli yan nung una. Tama ba ako, Cesar? Tama ako, di ba? Dapat tapos yun September 30, hindi tapos ngayon. Okay? Kaya hindi talaga ako masaya sa 4B, tsaka lalong akong galit na galit sa Leadway. Dahil sa mga kalokohang pinagagagawa ninyo, di ba?
He's more of like a perfectionist, but he would really push people. And that's the thing that I think Vince is doing now.
Pinangako sa akin ng boss nyo, tapos na yan lahat nung Biyernes. Diba? Pero ngayon, nagsaslab pa lang kayo, tapos magko-connection lang kayo ngayon. Pasensya ka na, pare, hindi ako sa'yo galit. Nagalit ako kay Mr. Laksamana. Yung boss nyo, yabang-yabang. Kung gait-gaitin si BT Lau dati, yung pala siya yung pagpak. Anak ng... Diba? Kung hindi ko pa nakita yung lintik na rampa dun sa packet ng Saranggi, hindi ko magagaman, walang nagsabi sa akin sa kahit anong meeting dito, kahit kay Jake, na mali ang super elevation. Diba, itong si Laksamana, putang ina, kaya mo, napakagaling, yung pala, siya yung pinakamalaking problema dito.
Ano na yan? Second time around.
He's very, very driven that he would really push things and, expect that of people.
May mga senador na bibisita dito, tsaka congressman kasama ang Speaker of the House sa October 16. Gusto ko sila dadaan dyan lahat. Okay? So, ang ibig sabihin nun, Wala akong makikitang putek dyan. Lahat yan, simento at aspalto.
Ready, 2, 1, go!
I guess the student council was, was something that helped me a lot. It gave me an opportunity to learn how it is to deal with people. I was never really that good at, when I was younger, and now in government you have no choice. You really have to deal with everybody. So.
With Vince in the student council, he was very driven and hardworking. If there's a task that he wants to do or a project, he would just go at it.
May tinding power yan si Vince na pag siya nagsalita sa amin. Mahirap na humindi o kasi magaling yung convincing powers na yun.
There are, I would say, 5 categories that encompass all these flagship projects. No? Unang-una yung transport and mobility. Yan ang madami at malaki. No? Pero kasama din dyan ang power.
I see this Vince as the same person as I grew up with as a kid, in many ways he's leveled up, obviously, because of all the experience he's got. But when I deal with him, I still see the same kid that we grew up with. He's still very playful. He still knows how to balance work and fun. So it's probably hard to see that if you're just if you don't really know him very well, because he may appear to be like a workaholic, very driven, almost bordering restless.
We're targeting to finish in 43 days. But when we say 43 days, that would mean that substantially completed na po lahat ng mga facilities.
It's like an energizer bunny, I don't even understand where he gets his energy.
Yesterday, I rode with the triathlon team, yung national team natin. They live there na rin.
Lakas mo, nakakasabay ka.
Ay, hindi. Ano yun? Sila yung sasabay sa akin.
Alalay.
Oo, sila yung aalagay.
Palagi kami nagbabike. Dati nung ginagawa pa lang to, from Clark, magbabike kami papunta dito.
In fact, the first time he competed was probably 2-3 weeks ago, and he already placed 3rd. He already was in the podium at for his age group. But of course, BC Day I think was venue sponsor, so that's questionable.
Maraming puno, tsaka malinis ang hangin, so nakakainganyo din eh. Tsaka pang distress na rin, pang relax, kasi hirap eh. Minsan, hirap na rin hirap mag-cope sa stress kung walang outlet eh. So ito na rin yung outlet. Hopefully, President Duterte has started a trend. President Duterte, I think, is one of the first, if not the first, that did not stop any. I don't know of any project that has been stopped by the President for political reasons. Point to point lang. Gaganon-ganon lang siya. So November, Pocha pare, cutting close yun Pare sa iyo, October 31 dapat nandito na. Para may 1 week ka. Tawagan ko na lang si Jay Gayug. Para siguraduhin, baka hindi umabot.
During the college years, I could already see him being a leader. He had the traits already. First year college, maybe not. I thought of him as a nerd. His comprehension is just amazing, and he would just go over material quickly and be able to already explain it.
I go back to him since 2nd year college. He had a minor program in political science, and he enrolled all his minors under me. I was teaching. He was an economics major with a degree on business. He's very political. He was a student leader then. We spent some time plotting his rise in De La Salle University politics. He actually delivered a graduation speech of his batch.
He was given the highest distinction by LaSalle, which is the Brother Gabriel Conan Award.
I got surprised. He gave me a call after graduation and said, "Sir, I heard you're looking for a research assistant." So that's when I said, okay. So he joined me with two of his batchmates. My politics and his strength in economics. We were a good team in terms of analyzing trends in this country. I think we brought the science to campaigns. Then I started pushing him to run the office of Ed Angara. So he became Chief of Staff of Ed Angara. Suddenly I get this call from Senate President Tito Soto and said, Fernando Po Jr. is thinking of running. We wanted the campaign to be different. Then Vince became my number 2 in the campaign of Fernando Po. Look at all the pictures of Fernando Po. There's 2 guys always beside. We built a database of politics that nobody imagined, which I still have now. And the one who helped me build this is the Vince when they were younger. Remember, he used to be Undersecretary for Political Affairs of the Liberal Party. That was from 2010 to 2013. That's how politics is. But when you get an opportunity to do public service, maybe that's how he sees things. Then in 2013, that's when he stepped down from that position and ran the campaign of Senator Cayetano, who we met during the anti-Gloria Macapagal Arroyo days.
We've known each other for more than a decade already. And I helped him a lot formally beginning 2012, I think. It was when I left the Pinoy administration, or 2011. It's really more than just work for the Cayetanos in our family. It's really very personal, and we support each other, and we really help each other, through thick and thin. The president, I think about 2 years ago, made a directive of banning people in government from putting his picture on their offices. And he said, put a picture of a national hero. It's symbolic for BCDA because the first project of BCDA was Fort Bonifacio. I don't think there has been a president in recent memory who has made the kinds of decisions on a broad spectrum of things about this country that President Duterte has made. And a lot of people, some people don't agree with it, but his popularity, his approval ratings, I think, speak for themselves. Para nababantayan natin yung mga nagtatrabaho sa airport. Kita-kita mo talaga, sumuha mo, boss pa. Hindi talaga, totoo yan. Ano kasi yan modular, so we can count how many trusses have actually been installed already. So we measure them kasi based on how many they've been able to put up, and it gives us an indication of the progress. So, and mabilis ang mega-wide. The success or failure of any city development begins with infrastructure. If you don't have connectivity and multiple modes of connectivity, it's doomed to fail. And the beauty of Clark is connectivity is already here. There's already a world-class highway and Lex SCTEX. There's already an international airport right smack in the middle of all this development. Clark International Airport expansion, which was planned, years ago, is now at 80% completion. We're a little delayed on this, huh?
Yeah, because we put all the resources on here.
On here, okay.
So November, no more slippage.
So here, no more slippage here. Good. So when do you think we'll finish?
The overall?
Yeah, overall.
That last time I promised you March. We are sticking to the same.
But I want the O&M to already start. They can already start fitting out here, no?
Yeah.
Which areas can you turn over to them already?
This West Piers, building 1 we can handle completely. If you go departure, you can see the complete building is already ready.
So they can already start with departure?
Yes, flooring can be started, then the air conditioning can be started.
Okay. Para makita. So ito yung check-in counter. So we're here now, left and right, check-in yan. Paglampas, immigration, and then ito na yung security. These are the natural skylights. Kasi what we want is for this airport to be the first LEED certified airport in the country. It's going to be a green building, a green airport. And to do that, there's so many requirements. And one of the major requirements is obviously energy efficiency. So we'll use a lot of the skylights. All of those parang triangles will be natural light. So we minimize electricity during the day, and then we only turn on the significant number of the lights sa gabi. Royal, they wanted the airport to have what they call sense of place. So meaning, it's not just any other airport in the world, it's an airport that will only identify with the location, which is Clark. And there are a couple of things that he did. Number one was, you have panoramic views of the surrounding nature. As you arrive and as you entering the airport for your departure, to the west, you will have the mountain ranges of Sacobia, where the roofing is actually draws inspiration from. Kaya hindi pantay-pantay, undulating. No? But when you depart, as you board the plane and when you take off, Mount Arayat naman ang magiging view mo. So that immediately tells you that you're landing or taking off from Clark. The second is, they wanted to do the patterns of the roof and draw inspiration from something that is authentically from this place. And they use the lanterns of Pampanga. Kaya you notice the shapes of the trusses are all diamond or triangular in shape, which represents the lanterns of Pampanga. Those small touches provide a sense of place or identity for this airport. So it can only be an airport in this location.
The wood is from
Austria.
okay.
Austria. The roofing is from Italy. These are very highly engineered wood that are fire resistant, pest resistant. They have very high seismic ratings, no, because they're more flexible, they're more pliant. No, it's not like steel or concrete. No, that's very rigid. That's why this airport can withstand anything above 7.5 intensity earthquake. It's really precision work. 8 Austrian nationals who put up all of this. We just help them with, the lifters, but they're the ones that know what screws to put in, what bolts will fit, exactly where everything will, It's really precision engineering. Ang Cebu is similar, ganito din yung kahoy, pero yung Cebu is all wood. He built Cebu also, this guy. KL also was the project manager for Mactan. But the main difference of Mactan in this is the wood stretches all the way to the floor. It's all wood. Here, what the architects wanted to do is they wanted to combine the lahar finish, the concrete, with the wood and with metal, with the aluminum sheets. And it makes it easier to maintain. I think what the president needed at this point in his second half of his term is someone to be able to coordinate all of these efforts.
I'm not surprised that he gets these positions. What he got and what he has, he's really able to maximize it.
Parang siya kasi he excels kung saan mo siya ilagay. And so ngayon nasa BCDA siya, kitang-kita mo naman na yung accomplishments nila, grabe. Kahit bihira maligo yan ng college, magaling yung charm niyan, lalo na sa girls. Kaya popular siya ng college.
Vince is always on the go, right? He wants to do things quick, do things fast. And I think, taking a shower is something that takes time. But he does quick, probably 5-minute showers now. Like, oh, you took a shower already. That's it.
All of these flagship projects, they will take time to build. Some of them will be completed by 2022 before the president leaves office. Some of them will be substantially completed. Some of them will be partially completed. But a lot of them will require another administration, maybe even 2 more administrations to be completed. But they have to be started now. And they have to be substantially built now. For example, New Clark City, it's going to take another, I would think, 20, 25 years for this to be all completed. But we've got to start now, and that's what we've done. So you got to build momentum. Physics yan eh. Momentum is key. Inertia, forward movement is key. You've got to build enough momentum. It's like a snowball if you want to build, and then it gets big enough that it's going to be virtually impossible to stop.